Real estate in a city like Mumbai is not for the faint-hearted. India's biggest metropolis is also one of its toughest property markets. There is cutthroat competition coupled with complicated government regulations. Then, how does a fledgling company grow to be one of India's best known and most respected real estate firms? All this in a very short period of time against all odds.
He was just a college student when his tryst with the property markets began. Bamanar Irani might have inherited his chops from his business family, but his destiny in real estate is of his own making. In under 20 years, this first-generation real estate player has made Rustomjee one of the most sought-after development firms in Mumbai and also amongst the city's best.
Boman R. Irani's journey in real estate began in 1991 as a young engineering student. He didn't take long to learn the ropes, and in 1996, the Rustomjee Group was born. As one of the youngest and fastest growing real estate companies in Mumbai, Rustomjee has a development portfolio of more than 30 million square feet in the Mumbai metropolitan region. It has transformed 12.5 million square feet of Mumbai into premium townships, corporate parks and retail spaces, and built over 12,500 homes. In the last 5 years alone, they have delivered 8 million square feet of construction area. Known for their emphasis on providing a quality lifestyle as opposed to just providing homes, the Rustomjee Group is a prime example of a developer whose portfolio has consistently grown even when the economy has not. 46-year-old Irani, a first-generation real estate developer, is the driver of this success story.
Baman, pleasure to be with you.
Thank you for being here, Manisha.
All right, let me start with your story per se. So, like I said, your tryst with property markets started in your college days. Was it chance or was it by design?
Real estate, actually, it's such an interesting story. It was actually quite a chance. My family had a huge property which we were trying to sell. And, you know, I was about 19 years old when I started walking around trying to sell that property. And I met up with a whole bunch of very nice architects who then became my friends, developers who I came to know in much later years as very nice, you know, people that I had interacted with then, property consultants and stuff. And just going through that journey, I realized that this is such a lovely industry, but it didn't have the systems and processes. And I'm talking of 1996 or even before the 1993. It didn't have the systems and processes that, you know, we developers engage in right now. And coming from the industry background, I knew that once you systemize things and put processes in place, things become so much easier and better. And here was an entire industry that was, you know, almost where every decision was just taken by a promoter and you know, things were decided on the go, etc. So I saw a huge opportunity out here, and then the family trusted me with developing one small portion of the property, and then, you know, like they say, the rest is just history. Yes.
Since 2000, Rustomjee's expertise has been redevelopment. They have undertaken several prestigious redevelopment projects, earning the trust of their occupants.
In redevelopment, it's a cooperative process. You are dealing with members and at times multiple members who have a mind of their own. Each of them is nothing less than an owner. And then you have to give consideration to their aspirations, their desires, what their dreams are in terms of development, what their aspirations are, and what exactly are they looking for in the development. And hence, it's a cooperative process. You need to have the ability to listen to people, understand their requirements, be flexible, try and assimilate those into your development, and modify your development to suit everybody's requirement.
Today, due to their varied redevelopment projects, Many families are living in the same localities, their lives virtually unchanged, but their circumstances much improved.
In a redevelopment, the tenant is actually giving to the developer and putting in his hands his or her existing house. So it's far more riskier business. And that is where Rustomjee actually started doing well. Why did it start doing well? Because people believed in the brand, they trusted the brand, they believed that ultimately when they give over the existing flats or the building to Rustomjee, they would get a far better product in time. And that was the evolution of Rustomjee.
For a city like Mumbai, redevelopment is the only option if you want something in the center. But it's a tricky business, so how do you crack that?
Actually, the story of Rustomjee is the story of people. And redevelopment is absolutely people-centric. People welcome you into their property, their home, give it to you, not because they're walking out of there for want of money, but because they want to come back and live in the same or in a much better environment. And they say that, you know, the new house has got to be better than what it is. So it's a people story. And I think at Rustomjee, we gel so well with people. We understand what it is that our consumer wants, our redevelopment partner wants, and we've been able to give that. It was the first time in the year 2000 that we took a 12-member redevelopment building, and those people are still my best friends. And going on from there, 12 became 24, became 240, 480. We've kind of, I wouldn't say cracked the code, but we've been there with the people, and people usually spread the good word about what's really happened. That's how we've gotten most of our societies.
The group's portfolio is moving beyond redevelopment. The global city in Virar, spread across 217 acres, will have the capacity to house 20,000 families. It offers a wide range of apartments ranging from 1 BHK to 4 BHK homes. This integrated township houses state-of-the-art healthcare facilities, an expansive clubhouse and a prominent school. Entertainment options being multiplexes and its very own 12-acre amusement park. The 127-acre Rustomjee Urbania in Thane gives home buyers an experience of an integrated township with residential, commercial and clubhouse facilities within the vicinity.
What Rustomjee has been able to do is that they have been able to create housing stock in the market for both the sectors of society. For example, in Thane, they've done a great township project, but the amenities and the clubhouses, if you see there, they are world class.
Rustomjee's steady rise to the big league in Mumbai's real estate has been acknowledged by a number of awards. The NDTV Property Awards 2014 awarded Rustomjee Urbania the Best Township of the Year.
So you've gone into Virar, you've gone into Thane, and now you have these mega projects, right? 100, 200 acres plus. How did you make that shift, and why did you make that shift?
So again, at Rustomjee, it's been an old habit. You bite off more than you can chew, and then you chew it. But somewhere deep down, we at Rustomjee have always been about value for money housing. We've been about what really can we do to make affordable housing a reality for almost everybody. And towards that, land is one of the major components. At that point of time, if you had cheaper land, you were able to create miracles, right? Nowadays, it's how do you get taxes, around construction costs. But at one point in time, that was the only problem. So we moved to a place called Thane, where we acquired 127 acres, and we tied up with the locals out there, and we kind of built on that entire story of affordable housing. So at one point in time, I've sold Thane at 2,750 rupees a square foot, and the kind of apartments we've given are not low rises. They've all been like 27 floors and above. Then Virar happened, and Virar was another huge opportunity. I still think it's a massive untapped opportunity. The game plan is to build about 20,000 affordable homes. We've already completed about 5,000 of those. At one point in time, we were building 151 buildings at one go, and we were building 10.5 kilometers of roads, a clubhouse that is a little bigger than CCI, schools.
Little bigger, just a little bigger.
Bigger. And places of worship and places of, small shops, etc., etc. So about 5,100 homes and about 500 odd shops were being built at one point of time.
Okay.
And it gave me great pleasure because we were doing exactly what the Rustomjee, gene is. The genetics is to go ahead and create a home for every home buyer across the entire spectrum. By the time we are 25, we would have created total niche for ourselves as being one of the most trusted developers where value is given to the human.
Since its inception, the Rustomjee Group has been on the forefront of innovative design. Its focus on the living experience and open spaces within a home sets it apart from other home builders.
Before we launch a project, we understand the consumer, the buyer there. It's just not the kind of development we do. Is it 2-bedroom? Is it 3-bedroom? It's understanding what kind of mindset does he come from? What's the living? How does he live his life? How does he spend his day? What keeps him going? What are the key? If there's a business community that we are targeting in and around a particular area, then we do plan a temple. If there is a area that we are building where it's going to be bought by the 28, 30-year-old guys, and they believe in entertaining a lot of people, then we plan a balcony. So keeping those things in mind, we do plan open kitchens. We plan kitchens of a different size. So if there's a group that we are targeting to, which is looking at entertaining a lot of people home, we then have a bigger kitchen planned for him. We have a service kitchen and a regular kitchen planned for him. So it's basically a lot of consumer insights go in planning a home, and it's just not 2 and 3 and what kind of bedroom sizes do we build. That's the idea.
With its rule of value over cost, Rustomjee is dedicated to create value for money housing. There is a special effort to incorporate playgrounds and swimming pools into its designs, not as amenities, but as means for a better childhood for the homeowners' families. The Rustomjee mantra is to marry futuristic technology with classic design sensibilities while remaining sensitive to the needs of the environment.
Interestingly and curiously, all the documents on your website also talk a lot about being people-centric, and they also talk about something very interesting which says design follows function or form follows function. What do you mean by that?
When I say form follows function, it means when you walk into one of our halls, you know, we've got the 4 corners right there. We've got every little utilizable square inch that has been planned out here. Mumbai being very, very expensive, we believe that there should be no wastage. We've kind of created you know, the concept of a my space. You know, most of the Rustomjee homes that we built over the last 15 years have been around children and around old people. So we took care of, you know, rubberized floor matting wherever the play areas were. We took care of ramps before ramps became a compulsion for those who were, you know, not able to walk up steps themselves. We took care of larger bathroom doors for people where senior citizens, where we knew, you know, buildings where senior citizens came in. Then we decided that this is the generation of the 40-year-old home buyer. And he's a passionate young man or woman who's got over and above.
So glad you said young for 40-year-old.
Of course, 40 is the new 30 or 25, if I may say that. So when we realized that there's this, you know, young, passionate home buyer who's got, yes, his family to take care of, or her family to take care of, got a, you know, job to do, but at the same point of time is well educated, well read, looks at and has something beyond that everyday work life, right? So it could be music as a passion, it could be reading as a passion, it could be some kind of creative art as a passion. And towards that we've created something called your space, the my space in your home, which is not for your children, which is not for your parents, which is not, maybe you and your spouse can share it if you so wish, but it is that place where you go to as your den, your shell, your retreat, to create, to come back recharged and, you know, be the person that drives, you know, is the leader, is the one that takes things ahead.
Rustomjee caters to a wide variety of buyers, from small to the very spacious apartments, to penthouses and modest addresses to the most upscale of Mumbai's localities. At Rustomjee's, there's a home for everyone. Located at the Bandra Kurla complex annexi, Rustomjee Oriana is a premium 21-floor residential development that welcomes you with expansive 3 and 4-bedroom residences. The under construction Rustomjee Seasons, also located in the Bandra Kurla complex, promises bespoke residences spread across an expansive 4 acres. In the heart of Khar West, Rustomjee Paramount is a signature high-rise that will offer breathtaking views of the Arabian Sea. Among their other upcoming residential projects is Rustomjee Elements spread over 3 acres in Juhu. A contemporary living space being designed by the Hong Kong-based architect James Law. Poised to be a benchmark in luxury living, Elements boasts of extravagant apartments, water bodies and manicured greenscapes.
So Baman, one thing that you've always maintained is buying a house or just any property or real estate is more about emotions, and therefore it's very sentiment driven. Now my question to you is that here's an environment where everything seems to have fallen into place. Your GDP numbers are looking good, your interest rates have come down, you've got that extra benefit for at least affordable houses under 50 lakh rupees, yet the sentiments don't seem to be picking. So what is the math which went wrong?
Now, our consumers which are there are obviously driven by a false sense of belief because of all the media articles that keep coming, you know, about prices having to drop and there is no other way, etc. As a developer, as a CREDI affiliated developer, I want to say this. Even we developers hope the prices will come down, and the only way prices can come down today is if you can reduce the incidence of taxes on this one industry. It is huge. We've tried to time and again bring to everybody's attention. I must say, you know, we are getting the ears of the highest offices in this country, and they are keen on doing this. It's not going to be very easy because the government is cash strapped. Government is cash strapped. Everybody needs money. There's drought reliefs to be done, etc. But the unnecessary incidence of taxes only makes it that much more lesser in terms of the collections that finally happen. When that gets rationalized, when we can bring it down in terms of the taxes itself. Secondly, in terms of the time taken for approvals. If you can bring down the time taken for approvals, which should happen with our ease of doing business, from 2 years to let's say 60 days, you will see the entire incidence of interest that is leviable on the product coming down and going to the hands of you know, the consumer.
Do you really think developers will pass on that benefit of lower interest cost, lower tax incidence to the customer?
Yes, I'm pretty confident that just the drop in time of 2 years to about 2 months should see at least about a 10% being passed on to the consumers. But again, there's a lead lag. It's not going to happen tomorrow morning because it's going to take that much more time. There's going to be consistency in the approval processes coming in 60 days, which would allow people to kind of go ahead and pass that on. But in the long run, for sure.
The thoughtfulness that Rustomjee brings into every home it designs also extends to its CSR duties. The company is engaged hands-on in a number of projects. The Rustomjee Educate a Child initiative is an effort to bring more children into the classroom. For every home booked, Rustomjee funds the education of a child for 1 year.
What is your vision for Rustomjee?
I believe that in the next 5 years, by the time we are 25, we would have created a total niche for ourselves as being one of the most trusted developers, where value is given to the human, to the psychology, to the requirement of the person who's coming to buy a home. We are going to be we're going to give the right kind of attributes to our homes, but do away with things that do not need to be done or just look good on paper or just there for, you know, the show value. It's going to be totally form following function. So everything that is a requirement in a home, you will always look at Rustomjee first, knowing very well that Rustomjee has gone through, and our line says it's thoughtful, it's Rustomjee. It is not something that has come out of some script writer. It is something that truly is the DNA of Rustomjee, and Rustomjee continuously involves its purchasers, its team members, all our partners that we work with, to continually give a better and a better home for my home buyer.
The Rustomjee Group might have come on the scene later than many of its contemporaries, but it has always competed with the best of them. It earned its stripes in a very short time, not just with its impressive portfolio, but with its commitment to create better living. It goes by the mantra, it's thoughtful, it's Rustomjee, and has won the respect of its peers by sticking to it against all odds.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manisha. Thank you so much. And I look forward to you being a Rustomite sometime soon, whenever you think of moving
I'll
to
have
Mumbai.
to move from Delhi to Mumbai, but not a bad idea. I've seen those flats.
Lovely.
Thank you.